The story starts with a hooded figure hiding on top of a castle roof waiting for all the lights to shut off so he can enter the area and kill his target. But before he could jump in, he senses someone behind him and looks back to find a black-haired young boy standing on top of one of the towers staring at him from afar. An immediate chill runs down the hooded man, who thinks that this boy must be another hitman just like him. But on a closer look, he realizes that this boy is none other than the legendary silent assassin known for his overpowered abilities. The hooded man realizes that there is no hope for an escape and he must fight his way through this, so he immediately runs to get a better angle and throws a bunch of sharpened metal spikes at the silent assassin. Unfortunately for him though, the assassin is too quick and dodges the attack effortlessly before running straight at the hooded man. The man pulls out his dagger and tries to end it in a single thrust. But the black-haired boy manages to block and deflect the attack with his own dagger in the blink of an eye. They go back and forth on the rooftop before their boy expertly disarms his opponent. The hitman is not going to go down so easy, though, as he again throws a bunch of spikes, which the assassin dodges. But this creates an opening for the hooded man to strike. Unfortunately for him, the black-haired boy already thought this through and slips past the attack, appearing behind him. The hooded hitman starts getting desperate as he realizes that the power difference between them is enormous and tries to throw everything he's got at the younger assassin. The boy, however, stays calm, deflecting and blocking every single slash and strike that the hitman threw at him, even blocking his secret hidden shoe blade. With that, the hitman is left without any tricks in his bag, while the assassin simply stabs him in the arm before breaking his legs, leaving him on the ground. The hitman can't believe how effortlessly the boy handled him, but accepts his defeat as a sword falls from the sky, ending his pain forever. With his competition out of the way, the assassin enters the room of his target, who is sleeping on the bed without any clue of the danger he is in. He strengthens his resolve once more and brings up his dagger to stab the target, completing his mission. Just a little while back, this deadly assassin was a normal, lonely teenager named Akira from Japan who went to high school and preferred spending his time by himself, reading mangas on his phone. Most of his classmates never cared about him. But one fateful day, a sudden tear in their reality happens, and him, alongside all of his classmates, gets transported to a completely different world in the middle of a court. They all get scared, wondering whether it is a dream or some kind of a prank, when an old mage arrives through a door, claiming that the royal majesty would like to have a word with them. None of them understand what the hell is happening, while some think that this is some kind of a costume party. But soon the king enters the room with the princess and welcomes them to the new world, where they have been called by a special magic ritual. The king immediately gets down to business, claiming that he is the ruler of the biggest human kingdom, which is currently under the threat of an attack from the demons. He claims that only a hero from another world possesses the true power to defeat the demon lord once, and for all otherwise they all will be doomed for death and destruction. The mage then moves forward, claiming that they need to find who the hero is, and instructs everyone to move forward and place their hands on the magic crystal one by one. One of the excited boys goes ahead first, placing his hands on the crystal only to reveal his status, which turns out to be nothing but an animal trainer. He seems disappointed, but the mage tells him not to worry since he still has the stats far beyond the reach of any normal person. One by one, the students learn their status, as some become mages, some knights, and some become healers. Akira notices something odd, though, as everyone seems to have the starting stats of 180. Whereas his stats as an assassin are 10 times that at 1800. Finally, the next boy, named Sato, moves towards the crystal ball and is revealed to be the hero among them all, with starting stats of a 1000. The old mage congratulates him, claiming that the starting stats of every single person is sealed at maximum 500. But since he is a hero, his stats are double that. This proves that something is wrong with Akira's stats, as his stats seem to be nearly twice that of the hero himself. Everyone cheers for Sato since he is the most popular guy in the class, while one of Akira's classmates pushes him to reveal his stats to everyone as well. Akira thinks about the situation that they are in, and considering that they know nothing about this world or how it operates, he feels like it's stupid to reveal such an abnormal number, and he should first get more information about it. With everyone's stats sorted and the hero revealed, the old mage claims that they will all be given weapons and other equipment according to their classes, and sends them off to their rooms for the night. While returning back to their rooms, he also notices a hidden camera, which means that these people are monitoring them, which is definitely fishy. So he decides to use his conceal presence ability to slip past them. Once in his room, he dresses up appropriately before going out on the balcony, soaking in the fact that he really is in another world. With that, he decides that he should soon start working on getting more information, and with a jump or two, he scales the wall to the top of the castle without breaking a sweat, He looks back at his own insane abilities. He suddenly notices an open window and sneaks his way into the work chamber of the king himself, who asks the princess whether everything is going according to the plan. The princess replies that the kids from the other world don't seem to have any idea about what's happening, and none of them have much magical abilities to be of any issue. The king tells her to keep an eye on them before focusing back on his work. With his conceal presence skill, Akira is basically invisible as he stands beside the king, wondering how easy he could kill this man right now, but decides against it. The next morning, Akira sits down on the breakfast table with the rest of his classmates who seem to have no worries at all, while Sato, the popular good guy, stands up and gives a cringe about how they all are much stronger than they were in their own world, so they should all focus on helping the people of this world with their abilities and fight against the demon lords just as the king instructed. Everyone in the class echo their agreement with a stupid plan, while Akira contemplates whether he should reveal what he has discovered, since these idiots are assuming that the king and the princess are their allies. After breakfast, the students are all assembled in the training ground, where the Lord Commander of the Royal Army named Saren introduces himself and claims that since they are all newbies, he would be helping them train so that after a month they could go down a dungeon and actually test their abilities. Sato immediately rallies everyone, claiming that they will do their best, while Akira is still concealing himself and silently observing the circus from afar. He decides to go on his own to get some more information, but to his surprise, he gets followed by Saren, who hands over the class to his Lieutenant Gil. Akira wonders whether his conceal presence ability wore off or has a maximum duration to be active. But Saren simply smiles, claiming that he doesn't need to worry as his abilities seem to be working fine. He reveals that he himself is gifted with mystical eyesight, which allows him to see the difference in temperature. So basically, he is a walking thermal camera. Akira gets on edge and puts his hand on the blade, asking whether they are going to have any trouble, but calms him down, claiming that he has no intention of outing him to the king or the princess. Akira is still skeptical and asks whose side he is actually on, but Saren replies that it's much more complicated and can't be explained so easily. Realizing that he is not lying, Akira lowers his guard slightly and mentions that he wants to visit the library to gain as much information as possible. When Saren asks what level is his conceal ability, Akira reveals that it's already maxed out, which is pretty crazy. But the rest of his abilities are only level 1, and he has no idea how to increase it. Smiles, claiming that he can help him with that, since he will not get what he wants from the library anyways. Akira wonders how much to trust him, but he can't deny the fact that the thought of getting stronger isn't exciting. He controls his emotions and asks Saren how exactly does he get back home, but Saren replies that even he has no clue about that. But he knows that Akira needs to grow as strong as possible, since he can only find a way to get back home if he stays alive. Akira claims that he doesn't like taking help for free, so Saren replies that to pay him back, Akira can tell him more about his own world. This seems to do the job as Akira shakes hands with Saren, the first person in this world he decides to trust. Soon he starts learning about other races in this world like the Beast People and the Elves, who have their own separate continents. He also continues to train his physical and mental abilities, claiming that training is the only way to level up his skills and get better, while his class also trains separately under the tutelage of guilds. One evening he goes to meet with Saren as he finds a book, which he is sure is written by the Lord Commander. Saren grabs the book and smiles, claiming that it is indeed a plan to overthrow the king written by him and disguised as a cookbook. Saren reveals that the king is a broken man beyond repairs who is going to do something really crazy in order to change how the world operates, and Saren can't let it happen. At the same time, he is the commander of the royal knights who have a holy duty to protect the king. Akira understands his problem and reveals that he had the opportunity to kill the king the very night they were summoned here, but he couldn't bring himself to use his dagger. Saren replies warmly that he made the right decision, as just because he is an assassin doesn't mean that he has to commit murders. Finally, a month passes by and the heroes are all ready to enter the dungeons and are greeted by almost all the city, clapping and cheering for them. In the distance, however, Akira notices a hooded girl glaring at them, so he uses his skills to appear behind her, catching her off guard. He asks why is she staring at them with such rage, and the blue-haired girl replies that everyone in the city is hailing him and his mates as the heroes, but she knows the sacrifice which was made in order to summon them here. Akira admits that he has no idea about any sacrifice, but just like an NPC, she tells him to figure it out by himself and moves away. Soon they enter the dungeon, where monsters are appearing from every corner, and every single stone seems to be a trapdoor revealing even more monsters. The students all look tired and weak, while Akira wards off as many attackers as possible. Before asking Saren whether they should return, Saren replies that they have done well enough for the day and uses his divine skill to clear a path in front of them. Gil instructs them all to run towards the exit, but they all find themselves still underground and blocked by a bunch of monsters. Suddenly, the cringelord Sato remembers the smoke bomb the princess gave them, claiming that this will ward off the monsters, so he throws the bomb towards them. But to his horror, a minotaur emerges from the smoke. Gil arrives at the scene, shocked to see a minotaur at the upper floor, as they are supposed to be much deeper in the dungeons. Akira immediately jumps into action, dodging the blow, and jumping on top of the minotaur, stabbing him in the head, but to his surprise, his dagger snaps into little pieces, forcing him back. Sato stays on the ground, too weak to lift his sword, but Akira tells him to stay back as he is supposed to be the hero who defeats the Demon Lord. Commander Saren arrives at the scene, realizing how bad of a situation they are really in when Akira suggests he use his special ability and leave the rest up to him. Saren tells him that it could be dangerous, but after seeing the resolve in Akira's eyes, he decides to go ahead and cast the spell. Immediately, a huge lightning bolt shocks the Minotaur while Akira positions himself behind the monster, ready to strike. Akira activates his shadow magic and sends sharp spikes made of pure darkness towards the Minotaur, who is still struggling with Saren's lightning bolt. However, the Minotaur manages to break free of it soon and targets Akira, unaware that he has already cast his spell. As the Minotaur swings his heavy axe towards Akira, his hand is pierced by the dark spikes. Akira pierces its body with even more spikes, and once he is confident that the Minotaur can't break free from them so easily, he starts pulling it down into the dark abyss under its feet. The Minotaur is swallowed by the abyss, and the spikes uproot its head right before it completely vanishes. Everyone is stunned to see that Akira managed to defeat such an incredibly strong monster. But then suddenly, his powers go out of control. Everyone panics as he tries to retract the shadow spikes, but luckily, Saren steps up to help him calm down. Thanks to his guidance, Akira manages to regain control of his power, deactivating his shadow magic. He feels lucky that he is still alive, and Saren tells him that he really exceeded his expectations today. Once they return from the dungeon, Saren thanks for saving everyone's life, but he doesn't feel that he deserves all the credit. He says that without Saren there to back him up, he couldn't have defeated the Minotaur, especially because he hadn't been able to cast shadow magic properly in training. Saren remarks that it is the first time he has heard about an extra skill called shadow magic, and he agrees that Akira can barely control the spell right now. He warns him to be careful about using it the next time, and then decides to give him a samurai sword that the first hero forged himself. Akira takes the sword and asks Saren why doesn't he give it to the current hero instead of him, and the commander replies that Sato already has the holy sword. However, the bigger reason is that Saren stole the sword from the royal treasury, and giving it to the stupid hero will get him arrested in no time. Akira gladly accepts the sword and then finds that there are some inscriptions near the hilt. The first one reads Yato no Kami, and in the next inscription, the first hero wishes that his sword may guide his successor in times of trouble. Akira says that he would have liked to meet the first hero. Talking about the hero, Akira remembers the curse that was cast on Sato and how they couldn't break it no matter how many times the enchanter tried. He feels something fishy is going on, and Saren has a theory about it. The person behind the curse is actually the princess, who is trying to turn Satu into her puppet using a dark magic ritual. However, Akira arrives there right on time and destroys the magic crystal she was using to perform the ritual. The princess gets mad and asks how dare he enter a woman's bedroom without her permission, and Akira simply points his sword at her, saying that a witch who curses other people is not a woman. He asks her why the hell is she doing this, and the princess replies that it is all for the sake of the king. Akira asks her why is she obeying the king, and the princess repeats the previous statement with eyes that seem devoid of life and reason. Akira realizes this too and leaves the room. But the princess has more magic crystals that she plans to use to curse the rest of the students. Meanwhile, Akira takes the crystal to Saren's place and tells him that he was right about the princess cursing Sato. Seems like it is not a new thing because Saren remarks that she has not yet given up on her evil acts. He asks Akira if he showed his face to the princess, and he affirms, saying that he wanted to have a proper conversation with her, but she was not very good with her words. Saren replies that the princess is no more than a puppet for the king right now, and then tells Akira to not sleep inside the palace tonight. Akira is curious about the reason, and Saren explains that the princess can curse anyone, but not him since he never revealed his status to her. That means she will try to get him killed instead, and Saren wants him to stay away from the palace. Akira asks if he is not going to scold him for carelessly showing his face, and the commander replies that teenagers are supposed to be impulsive and reckless, and it is the duty of adults like him to cover it up. The next morning, Akira wakes up to a commotion coming from the palace, and once he reaches there, he finds a huge crowd gathered. He notices that Sato is freed from the curse and asks what is going on here. Sato replies that Saren is dead and Akira can't process that news. He runs through the crowd to see Saren's dead body lying on the floor with a dagger through his heart. Akira is devastated at losing his only friend in this world, but his classmates tell him to stop acting because they believe he is the killer. They point out that the dagger used to kill Saren belongs to him, and Akira reminds them that his dagger shattered in the fight against the Minotaur. However, no one is willing to listen to him, and they accuse him of being shady and untrustworthy ever since they all came here. Akira wonders if they are under the princess's curse, and he is proven right by the way they all blame him. Only Sato comes up to his defense, saying that they need to investigate the matter thoroughly. But the king declares that Akira will be executed for assassinating their beloved commander. He orders his guards to take him down, but Akira uses a skill to hide his presence and slips away unharmed. As the king sends his troops to search for him all over the palace, Akira goes to Gil, who reveals that the elite assassination unit killed Saren under direct orders from the king. The assassination squad is after him too, but Saren anticipated it, and he has prepared travel supplies in his room. Gil tells Akira to take the supplies and flee, and he thanks the vice commander before rushing to Saren's room to grab the items, but forgetting a smaller pouch in a hurry. At night, the king talks about how Saren went down more easily than he thought, and now there is no one who can oppose them. The princess tells him that the brainwashing of all the students except the hero is complete, and now they just need a reason to start a war with their neighboring kingdoms. The king is pleased to hear this, and he tells the princess to dispatch the assassins after Akira to make sure that he doesn't survive long enough to become a threat to them. Meanwhile, Akira is hiding in the dungeon because Saren once told him that it is the best place to avoid people chasing after him. But the only thing it lacks is clean drinking water. The dungeon is also the best place to level up and improve one's skills, but most people don't do it because it is too dangerous. Saren had warned Akira that even his presence concealing skill won't protect him from high-level monsters who have incredibly sharp senses, but if he levels up enough, he will be able to erase his scent and even his body temperature to fool almost anyone. Following his words, Akira begins going deeper into the dungeon, fighting powerful monsters like flame hounds who explode upon dying. Akira remembers that Saren once told him about the special skill that everyone receives after reaching level 100 and how it makes them really stronger. Defeating the dungeon bosses is the quickest way to get more experience, but it is also a life or death battle that he cannot run away from once it starts. Akira is determined to grow strong quickly at all costs, and after defeating the flame hounds, he enters the boss room where a gigantic demon lion is waiting for him. The lion monster immediately starts attacking him and Akira dodges everything, but he doesn't notice that the monster's tail is a snake that can spit venom. As he is caught off guard by the venom, the monster stabs him with its claw. Akira realizes that he is lucky to even be alive right now, but he doesn't plan to give up yet. As the lion flings him away, Akira decides to go all out and unleashes his shadow magic. The dark spikes immediately pierce the monster and rip it to pieces, but Akira can't control it for long as he passes out. However, a male voice comes from inside him, saying that the master has taken too much damage, so the shadow magic will be activated forcefully. The shadow quickly moves closer to his body and enters healing mode, using the mana stored in his shadow magic to heal his injuries. Back in the palace, Sato tells his classmates that they should head out to defeat the Demon Lord now, but most of them tell him that it is not the right time since the Knight Commander just died. Sato insists that they need to start moving now or it will be too late, but most of the students are under the curse and they tell him it is pointless. Sato declares that he will go alone in that case, but fortunately, there are some people who are willing to come with him. Sato doesn't understand why they would choose to follow him when they are cursed, but they are confident that they have gotten over their curse. The enchanter says that she has been able to differentiate between cursed and normal people, and she is sure that everyone here is free from the curse. The tall swordsman Asahi takes credit for it, saying that he vaguely remembers cutting some strange crystals in an unknown room. He doesn't remember how he got there or how he found a samurai sword, But ever since then, few students were free from the curse. Turns out, it was Gil who made that happen. His skill suggestion is more powerful than any curse when it comes to making his target do just one simple action. He is glad that he could save at least a few students because that was Saren's last order. And now he can only wish them luck for their journey. Meanwhile, Asahi thinks that they need to team up with Akira as soon as possible because he was the only one who knew the truth when they were all cursed. He remembers the time from the real world when he found Akira working a part-time job at a railway crossing. Akira asked him to keep it a secret because he didn't want his classmates and little sister to find out about his job. And Asahi had no issue with that. As they started talking about their sisters, they learned that the girls were best friends, and that gave them a reason to be on good terms with each other. Back in the dungeon, Akira wakes up dreaming about the incident too, and he wonders if Asahi is safe. He suddenly notices that his body is feeling a lot better than it should and opens his status to find that his stats have gone up, and his HP is back to full. Not only that, his shadow magic skill has leveled up even though he used it only once, and he can't understand how all that is possible. However, he doesn't have time to think about it and decides to keep going deeper into the dungeon. He soon reaches the 75th floor of the dungeon, and a slime monster immediately attacks him. Akira is surprised to see a slime on lower floors and immediately slashes it. And surprisingly, a pretty elf falls out of the monster's remains. Akira is confused by it, and he decides to use the skill called World Eye that he never got the chance to use before. The moment he uses the skills, he sees a lot of horrifying things that almost make him throw up. But he cancels the skill before it can overload his mind with new information. Just then, the elf girl Amelia wakes up and Akira asks her if she is alright. She replies that she is fine, but Akira doesn't trust her, because he saw her status earlier and found that her HP had dropped to just 2% earlier. He also knows that Amelia has the World Eye skill too, and she has already used it on him. She calls him by his name and asks what this place is, and he tells her that it is a dungeon where he is trying to level up. He then starts lecturing her about how it is not good manners to spy on other people's status, but she suddenly collapses into his arms. Akira finds that she has a fever, and he brings her up to the 69th floor to recover. Amelia is startled as she wakes up, but Akira tells her to drink water so that she stays hydrated. He gives her porridge to eat after that, and she asks him why did he bring her all the way to the 69th floor from the 75th floor. Akira replies that this was the nearest floor with a water source, and then asks her to get some rest. She thanks him for saving her, and then reveals that she is a princess. But Akira doesn't really care about that. Soon after that, Amelia fully recovers and joins Akira on his journey as he reaches the 80th floor of the dungeon. She uses her gravity magic to assist him in battle, but he is not really happy with her following him into danger. Amelia tells him that she is going the same way, and then confidently declares that she is strong enough to look after herself. Akira has no choice but to take her along now, and soon, they enter the boss room where they find a terrifying dragon ready to kill any intruders. The dragon immediately breathes blue flames towards them, but they manage to dodge it. Akira hides his presence while Amelia presses the dragon down with her gravity magic, giving him the chance to attack. However, the dragon sees him coming despite his invisibility spell and hits him away. Amelia yells at Akira that the dragon is sensing him through his mana and asks him to blend it with the surrounding mana. Akira has not learned how to do that yet, so he decides to fight like he always has. He activates shadow magic and sends a single dark spike towards the dragon, scratching its face and forcing it to change trajectory. Using this chance, he stabs the dragon's eye with his sword, bringing it down. Amelia is really impressed with his reckless fighting method, but as she is about to ask the details about his powers, the dragon's body starts glowing, astonishing both of them. The dragon transforms into a giant blue cat, and neither Akira nor Amelia can understand how that is possible. Amelia uses her World Eye skill and finds that the cat is a shapeshifter, which is how he transformed into a dragon. It all makes sense to her now because a real dragon would have been much more durable than the cat. Akira is impressed by how easily Amelia can use her World Eye, and she asks him why is he not using it himself. He remembers how his brain almost split apart the last time he tried using the skill, and he believes it was because his level is too low to use it properly. However, Amelia believes that Akira is rejecting the skill, which is the reason he is having trouble with it. Just then, the black cat wakes up and starts talking. He is disappointed that he was defeated by a human and an elf even though he was transformed into a dragon just for fun. Akira is dumbfounded on hearing the monster cat talk, and he gets offended by his reaction. He tells him not to lump him with other low-level monsters that are driven purely by instinct, because he is a being of superior intellect created by the demon lord himself. Akira replies that it doesn't make any difference because after the last hit, the cat won't be able to fight back. The black cat doesn't care about dying, but he has a message for Akira before he dies. He stands up and begins radiating a menacing aura, telling Akira that the demon lord waits for him in his castle situated deep within the demon continent of Volcano. That message makes Akira suspicious, and he asks how does the demon lord know about him and why does he want him to come to his castle. The black cat replies that the demon lord is a being far beyond his understanding, so he can't tell him anything else. He then lies on the ground, telling Akira to kill him, but he refuses. The cat tells him to stop pretending to be cool because humans consider all demons and monsters their enemies, so it makes sense for him to kill him already. Akira doesn't agree with him because for him, the true enemy is the king, and he doesn't believe his words that demons are their enemies. However, Amelia reminds him that the door of the boss room is not going to open unless they kill the boss or the boss kills them. The black cat agrees with her, asking Akira if he is planning to starve to death here. He asks the reason why he doesn't want to kill him, and his answer is simple as well as astounding. He replies that he is a cat person, and unlike other monsters, the black cat can talk to him. He believes that there must be a loophole that allows them to leave the boss room without killing the cat, and Amelia recalls that there was another way to do so. She says that if Akira forms a pact with the black cat and accepts him as his familiar, he will stop being recognized as a boss monster, and the door will open. The black cat laughs at the idea, saying that only an experienced magic user with great control over mana can do the ritual, and Akira doesn't have what it takes. Amelia disagrees with him and reveals that it has already surpassed the limit needed to do the ritual. She reminds the black cat that Akira detached his mana from his body to confuse him earlier, which is something that only the first hero has done before. Amelia is confident that Akira can perform the ritual, but she is not sure if he will succeed. He asks her what happens if he fails, and the black cat replies that one of them will die, and in the worst case, both of them might lose their lives. Akira is willing to take that risk, and the black cat doesn't understand why he would do that. He tells him to go ahead because he doesn't care about dying, and Akira gets pissed at the way he acts so indifferent to living or dying. The black cat replies that living any longer won't bring him any joy, and Akira decides to talk sense into him later. He asks Amelia how to conduct the ritual, and she reveals that the first step is to give the cat a new name. Akira names him Night because of his beautiful fur that reminds him of the night sky. The cat doesn't react to the name, and then Akira moves on to the next step, which is pouring mana into its paw. Amelia warns him that there is no turning back after he starts pouring mana, and if he fails to control the cat, he might lose his life. Akira is confident that he will succeed, and as he starts pouring his mana into the cat's paw, he feels a powerful wave drowning him. He realizes that this is what's inside the cat. But then suddenly, he finds himself falling towards a burning city. Akira is horrified when he sees the gruesome sight, and then he notices Night rampaging through the city, killing anyone who tries to escape. He tries to stop Night, but he attacks him with his dark mana, dealing serious damage to him. As Akira gets back on his feet, Night tells him to stop hesitating and kill him, because that is the only way he can get out of this place alive. Akira still can't bring himself to attack the cat, so Night starts attacking again, hitting him with his powerful claws. The damage Akira takes in the dream world begins affecting his body in the real world as well, and he finally decides to fight back. He throws his dagger at Night, who easily deflects it, and then begins charging his dark power to quickly finish the battle. Akira charges towards him, but instead of attacking, he lets himself get stabbed by Night's claws. The black cat is dumbfounded by his action and asks what the hell is he trying to do. Akira replies that he doesn't want to kill him, and he knows that Night doesn't want to kill anyone either. Night replies that he is a monster, and even if he is intelligent, his instinct keeps telling him to kill anyone in his way. Akira knows that Night is sick of killing others, so he says that he doesn't need to fight against his instinct by himself anymore. He holds his claws, promising to watch over him and make sure that he doesn't have to do something like this ever again. Slowly, the dream world begins to vanish, and as Night begins trusting him, he turns into a normal-sized cat and finds comfort in Akira's arms. The sun rises in the dream world, turning into a reflection of the peace that Night is experiencing in Akira's arms. With that, Akira returns from the dream world, and as soon as he realizes that the pact ritual worked, He touches Knight to confirm it. A golden mark appears on the back of his hand, and then the red mark on Knight's forehead turns golden as well. Amelia explains that this is the mark of the pact being successful, and now Akira's soul has been linked with the cat. Knight wakes up too and remarks that now he is curious to see how far Akira will go. He accepts him as his master and swears his life in his service. Amelia introduces herself to him after that, and Knight replies that as his master's companion, she has his respect too. Just then, a magic circle appears on the floor, signifying that the boss has been defeated, but Akira seems to be lost in thoughts. He says that he would like to move to the next floor already, but Knight is wounded. Knight replies that the door will remain open until they use it, so there is no need to hurry. He decides to take some time to recover, and Amelia suggests that they use this time to know each other better. Knight immediately agrees with her, and Akira is low-key surprised by how quickly he changed his personality. On the other hand, Sato and his party reach the country founded by a hero who was summoned from Earth just like them, and they are awestruck when they see that the country looks exactly like historic Japan. Everything there feels familiar, and they start relaxing before discussing their future plan. Sato says that the first thing they need to worry about is their funds because they are 1 month away from being broke and homeless. One guy recommends becoming an adventurer because that is the best job for them, and Sato agrees. He then moves on to the next topic, which is information gathering. He suggests they find someone who knows a lot about this world and also search books with valuable information. Another boy sighs, hoping there is a book that can tell how to go back to Earth. But Sato believes that defeating the Demon Lord is their best bet to do that. He thinks that only the king and the princess might know how to send them back. And even though they are twisted and evil, they need to win them over by defeating the Demon Lord. He declares that once they have enough funds and information, they will head straight towards the Demon Continent. But Asahi disagrees. He believes that they should regroup with Akira before heading to the Demon Continent, because his intuition tells him that Akira is growing stronger much faster than everyone else, and they definitely need him in their team. Some members agree with Asahi while others still think that he is the murderer of Commander Saren. A small argument starts between them on this topic, but the girls step up to mediate between them. They ask Sato his opinion on the matter because as the leader, he gets to make the final decision. Sato agrees with Asahi and believes that Akira is already stronger than them, but he doubts that they would be able to work with him. He says that Akira doesn't like getting involved with other people, and he still doesn't remember him even though they have been classmates since kindergarten. Everyone is shocked to hear this, and even Asahi agrees that Akira is not exactly a team player. Sato says that according to the legends, only the holy sword wielded by the hero can bring down the Demon Lord, so he needs to become strong enough to do his job. He believes that even if they find Akira, he won't agree to work with them if they are too weak, which is why he decides to wait for him in this country while all of them work hard to increase their strength. On the other hand, Amelia is telling Akira and Knight about her past. She was driven out of her country by her own sister, and her men were hellbent on killing her. They cornered her near a cliff, and she used her gravity magic to fall into the river below that swept her away to safety. However, she was wounded and tired, and a black slime took advantage of her weakness to swallow her whole. The next thing she knew was that she was in the dungeon and Akira had just rescued her. Akira pities her on hearing the story, but Knight finds some loopholes. He remarks that slimes don't eat people, and even if one had eaten Amelia, she would have been digested by the time she was rescued. She doesn't understand it either, but she is grateful to the slime that brought her to Akira. Akira tells her that she should go back and try to sort things out with her sister, but Amelia has already given up. She feels that she can't confront her sister, but Akira says that things will work out somehow because they are family. He says that he has a sister too, and even though she is cheeky all the time, he still cares a lot about her. Amelia and Knight ask if he wants to return to his world to meet his family, and Akira affirms. But before that, he has something else to do. He begins talking about Saren, the man who taught him how to live in this world, and gets furious thinking about the people who killed him. He swears to kill the king and the princess for assassinating Saren, and his killing instinct makes Amelia and Knight shudder in fear. Amelia screams his name, snapping him out of his murderous fury. Once he has calmed down, both Amelia and Knight tell him that they know Saren's name as he was a famous knight commander. Akira realizes that the mood is too tense, so he whips out his glove and, driven by his cat instincts, Knight tries to catch it. Akira is glad to see the trick that worked on all the strays around his house works on a monster cat too, and Amelia wants to try it as well. Soon after that, Akira and Amelia start cuddling with Knight to enjoy the soft and fuzzy texture of his fur. Knight tells Akira to take it more seriously because their souls are linked, and if one of them dies, the other one will also die. Akira knows that already, but he is just glad that he got a cat familiar because he really likes cats. Amelia replies that she is jealous of him because she also likes cats. Once they are done fooling around, they decide to leave the dungeon. Akira asks Knight where the teleportation magic circle will lead them, but the cat has no idea about it. He says that only a handful of demons still know the art of making magic circles, and Akira decides to find them and make them work for him once he reaches the demon continent. Suddenly, Amelia remembers a story about the pale blue magic circles leading people to the place they desire, and if multiple people enter it, it reacts only to the wishes of one person. Akira says that it might create a problem for them, but Amelia assures him that she will go anywhere as long as it is with him. Akira doesn't think much about her statement as he steps into the magic circle. He wonders if it can take him back to his family, but pushes that thought out of the way because his vengeance comes first. With that, the magic circle activates and the group is teleported to a forest from where they can see a gigantic tree. Amelia goes into shock on seeing the tree that Knight recognizes as the World Tree. He says that they are in the Forest of Elves, and even though Amelia can't believe they ended up here, Akira thinks it is a good place to be. Suddenly, an elf hiding in the tree shoots an arrow at Amelia, but luckily, Akira notices it in time and moves her away from the arrow's path. He then charges towards the archer, deflecting his arrow with his dagger, and then quickly reaching behind him. He brings the archer to the ground and Amelia identifies him as Liam. Liam says that he didn't expect to find the traitor when he came to investigate the light at this location, and tells Amelia to run away if she values her life. Akira knocks him out because he is not interested in his yapping, but he realizes that he was too slow as the elves have already surrounded them. Amelia's sister Kilika is there to lead them personally, and she tells Amelia that she is going to die now that she has returned to the country willingly. Amelia remembers the past when everything was perfect. She was the crown princess of the kingdom of elves, and along with her fiancé Liam, she watched over her little sister Kilika, who was her pride and joy. However, that perfect life did not last long for Amelia, as Liam suddenly told her that he wanted to cancel their engagement. Amelia was saddened by this, but she told him to talk to her dad about this, because he was the one who set up their marriage. Just then, Kilika arrived there and told Amelia that Liam didn't want to marry her because she was the child of Blight. That was just the beginning of Amelia's misfortunes, and shortly after this incident, Kilika led the soldiers to hunt her down. Everyone called Amelia a criminal and tried hunting her down, but she somehow survived that and met with Akira. Now, she feels nervous standing in front of her little sister. She pleads with Kilika to not attack her and promises that she will leave the country immediately. However, Kilika has no intentions of letting her go this time. She keeps on cursing the nervous Amelia, till Akira steps up and tells her to shut her stupid mouth. Kilika asks him who the hell is he and why is he helping a criminal, and Akira replies that he is just her friendly neighborhood assassin who befriended her sister a few days ago. He asks Kilika what exactly has Amelia done to be treated like a criminal, and she removes her arm cover to reveal the damage caused to it by poison. Akira is shocked to see this, and Kilika tells him that Amelia gave her a poison disguised as a healing potion, and this is her crime. Everyone starts cursing Amelia for being a cruel bitch, and she mutters that she really gave her a healing potion. Kilika asks if she is accusing her of harming herself just to frame her, and Amelia falls silent. Kilika then walks over to Akira, thanking him for bringing a wanted criminal back to their country, and just as she gets close enough to him, she uses her special ability to mesmerize him. Amelia is too late to alert Akira about that as Kilika's spell is already complete. She is confident that now Akira has also fallen for her, and Amelia is left without anyone to save her. Amelia suddenly snaps at Kilika, telling her to undo her skill on Akira and apologize to him, because only he has the right to decide what he wants to do. Kilika is taken aback at this because she has never seen Amelia fight back. But then suddenly, Akira tells both the girls to chill out. He says that the mesmerize skill didn't affect him, and Amelia is delighted while Kilika is in shock. Knight says that mind control spells don't work on people who are at a much higher level than the caster, and this is true for Kilika and Akira. The elven princess refuses to believe that there can be anyone stronger than her. Akira says that he will accept that he is weaker than her after she admits that she poisoned herself to frame Amelia. Kilika gets pissed at this and commands the soldiers to kill Akira, who is ready to use his shadow magic to take them all down. Luckily, the king arrives there just then and commands all the soldiers to put their weapons down. Kilika is shocked to see him because he was supposed to be on a long business trip. The elf king asks her what the hell is going on here, and a soldier tells him that Amelia poisoned Kilika. However, the king shuts him up and asks his daughter to answer the question instead. Kilika falls silent as the soldiers under her control say that she did nothing wrong. The king immediately realizes that Kilika has mesmerized them, and he orders her to undo the spell immediately. She refuses to say anything, so the king tells her daddy is going to punish her later for being a bad girl. He then moves over to Akira, apologizing to him for Kilika's actions. He then tells Akira to immediately get lost because other races are not allowed in the Kingdom of Elves. Amelia tells the king that Akira rescued her from danger and helped her come home, but he does not care about that. Amelia gets mad at him and says that she will head out with Akira in that case because she doesn't want to be in his narrow-minded country. The king gets furious on hearing this and tells Amelia to stop thinking that she is free to do anything she likes. He tells her that she is the future ruler of their kingdom, and she is going to stay here to look after it. Amelia is intimidated, but Akira tells her dad that no one else has the right to make life choices for her, and he is willing to fight anyone who tries to take her rights away. Just then, Liam comes back to his senses, and on learning that Akira knocked out one of their finest warriors, he decides to give him a chance. He challenges Akira for a duel with Amelia's rights on the stake, and nominates Kilika to be his representative. Akira accepts the challenge and follows the king to the World Tree where the duel will be held. Amelia apologizes for dragging him into this mess, but he replies that he chose to do it himself. He then asks her about the whole child of blight business, and Amelia explains that when one child out of a pair of twins doesn't resemble their parents, it is called the child of blight, who will bring great misfortune to their country. Akira is surprised that Amelia and Kilika are twins, but Knight is more curious about the child of blight story, which was proven to be just a myth many years ago. Amelia confirms that, but she knows that many people still use that term for her because she doesn't look like her parents at all. Soon, they reach the World Tree and Akira decides not to conceal his presence because he wants to score a fair victory. Amelia tells him to be careful because Kilika is the most skillful elven swordsman. Akira remarks that she seems to hold her cunning sister in high regards despite everything she has done, and Amelia replies that she has seen the effort she put in her training. As the duel starts, Akira doesn't even unsheath his sword, and when Kilika tells him to take his sword out, he tells her that he doesn't want to accidentally kill her. Kilika thinks that she is going to win easily and regain her father's trust, but Akira doesn't even pay her any attention. Instead, he thanks Amelia for getting angry on his behalf earlier, and she starts blushing. With that, the king signals the start of the duel and Kilika charges at Akira instantly. She begins swinging her sword at him precisely, but he is faster than her and easily dodges her attacks. He sees that she is really quite strong and fast for an elf, but she still can't match up to his skills. He slips past her and pushes her away, but Kilika has an ace up her sleeve. She enchants her sword with wind magic and sends a powerful gust towards Akira, pushing him back. He somehow dodges it, but Kilika keeps pushing him back. He soon finds a chance to counterattack and kicks Kilika off her feet, and by the time she gets up, he is already behind her. Akira tells her to give up now and asks her to make up with Amelia because she still cares for her. Kilika refuses, declaring that she will never forgive her sister who took everything from her. She immediately launches another powerful attack, pushing Akira back, but he deflects the wind spell to the side, hitting the elf soldiers instead. Akira orders Knight to protect Amelia from the reckless attacks, and he transforms into his bigger version to block out the wind attacks. Meanwhile, Kilika yells that she has nothing left because her sister took it all away from her. She remembers their childhood when they were really close to each other. But once it was discovered that Amelia was a spirit medium who could bend the world to her will if her power awakened, everyone started treating her differently. They stopped paying attention to Kilika, and that made her snap. Now, she wants to take everything back from Amelia, who is really worried about her. Just then, Liam arrives there with a wrapped item, asking Amelia to save Kilika with it. The wrapped item turns out to be a branch of the holy tree, and using its power, Amelia frees everyone from Kilika's brainwashing. Seeing that she has no one under her control now, Kilika loses her mind, and she uses her full power to attack Akira, who realizes that if he dodges, Amelia will get hit. He uses shadow magic to counter Kilika's wind attack, but then realizes that he is much stronger and his attack will devour Kilika whole at this rate. In the heat of the moment, he decides to pull the shadow magic towards himself instead. As the shadows surround him, Akira fears he will take damage, but to his surprise, his body gets covered by a dark aura instead. He doesn't understand what is happening, but charges ahead nevertheless, clashing with Kilika and knocking her out of the fight. Kilika is devastated that she has lost everything now, but Akira tells her to stop crying all the time because she is blind to the people who truly pay her attention. Just then, Amelia and Liam arrive there, and Kilika says that she must have underestimated Liam if her mesmerized skill wore off on him first. She says that he went straight to Amelia as soon as he was free, but Amelia tries explaining that that he was never under her spell in the first place. Kilika refuses to believe her and asks how they are going to punish her for her crimes. However, her father says that if anyone deserves to be punished, it is him. Kilika doesn't understand what he means, so her dad dispels the forgetting spell he had cast on her. Kilika regains her lost memories starting from childhood. She used to train hard to become stronger and decided to enter to level up. However, her father only had allowed her to go till the 3rd floor, and she was not confident if it could be good enough. One day, a shady woman offered her help to grow stronger quickly. She gave her a magic item that could summon stronger monsters that would help her level up quickly, and the innocent Kilika took it without thinking much. However, once she used the magic item, powerful orcs spawned in front of her, and she couldn't win against them despite her best efforts. She decided to run away instead, but when the orcs followed her out of the dungeon, she grew worried that her people would be in danger at this rate, so she decided to confront the orcs with all her might. Just as she was about to lose, Liam rushed to help her with the soldiers, but suddenly, a shrewd goblin jumped out of the bushes and pierced Liam's chest with its arm. As the shady woman laughed that her plan was successful, Kilika was devastated, and the king had to use his magic to make her forget it all. Luckily, Amelia was able to save the day by creating a magic to revive Liam and other dead soldiers. After that day, everyone tried to keep their distance from Kilika so that they wouldn't accidentally reveal the truth to her, and she thought that they didn't care about her because Amelia was a spirit medium. The king says that he wanted Kilika to win the duel against Akira and prove her worth as a royal, which would give her enough confidence to deal with the shock she would receive when he would return her memories. However, she couldn't win the fight, and he had to return her memories in a completely different manner. Liam suddenly kneels down in front of Kika, saying that he didn't want her to harm Amelia, so he pretended that he was under her mesmerized spell and helped her exile Amelia. Kilika can't believe how that happened, and the king reveals that a leaf of the world tree entered Liam's body when he was being revived, so he is pretty much immune to all negative effects. Liam apologizes for not dealing with things in a way that would stop anyone from getting hurt, and Kilika realizes that she was in the wrong all along. She blamed everything on Amelia, even though she was the cause of trouble for everyone around her. She starts crying and curses herself, but Amelia tells her not to do that because she is amazing. The two sisters have an emotional reunion, and then the soldiers rush to check up on Kilika and treat her wounds. She is shocked to see that everyone cares about her, even when they are not under her control. Later that night, the king throws a welcome party for Akira since he won the duel, and he agrees to let Amelia decide her future. She decides to go wherever Akira wants to go, and he reveals that he will go to the Beastman continent next because Knight told him it is the best place to continue his journey. After the party ends, Amelia calls Akira to a quiet place and asks him to say her name. He obliges, and she feels happy on him calling her name. She promises that she will never be apart from him, and Knight cringes out on seeing them act like kids. At the same time, Akira's classmates are on a ship. Sato apologizes to Asahi that they couldn't wait for Akira any longer, but he understands it because they would not have been able to become stronger there. That is why they are heading to the Beastman continent to hone their skills and get better weapons. Soon after that, it is time for Akira and Amelia to leave the Elf Kingdom, and everyone gathers to see them off. Amelia and Kilika have patched up their relationship, and Liam and Akira also tell each other to take care of their girls. The king then tells Akira that some soldiers will be accompanying him till their country's border because there have been a lot of kidnappings in that region lately. Amelia clings to Akira, saying that he is strong enough to protect her, but the king is not entirely convinced as he is really worried about his daughter. Kilika says that she will go to protect Amelia instead of the king, and Liam wants to join her. The rest of the soldiers also want to tag along, but Akira doesn't want any burden, so he refuses all of them. Soon, Akira and Amelia ride the carriage to the border while the soldiers keep watching around them. Akira asks Knight why was he acting so silent in front of the King of Elves, and he replies that most people don't like monsters, and he was staying silent so as not to cause trouble for Akira. Akira then asks him if acting too docile won't get him in trouble with the Demon King, and Knight affirms. He says that his senses are still linked to the Demon King, so he can see and hear everything. However, the Demon King doesn't control Knight's behavior and loyalty, and he declares that he is not going to betray Akira. Akira asks what will he do in case he has to fight with the Demon Lord, and Knight decides to not think about it right now. He says that the Demon Lord just wanted to see Akira, and Amelia suggests that he might actually want to become his friend. Knight supports her suggestion, saying that Akira was really cool yesterday and that must have gotten the Demon Lord's interest. He says that no one else can even use shadow magic, but Akira coated himself in it. Akira says that it is not as impressive as they think when suddenly his danger detection ability goes off. He orders the soldiers to stop the carriage and gets out to find that the kidnappers are waiting for them with a hostage. They threaten to kill the girl if Akira and his group make any moves and then hand them a rope to tie each other. One of the bandits recognizes Amelia, and he starts thinking about how happy their boss will be when they take the elf princess to him as an offering. While the bandits are distracted by this, Akira uses his skill to conceal his presence and then knocks out the bandits before they can even blink. When he returns to normal, the bandits are on the ground and Akira tells the soldiers to tie them up. In the meantime, Amelia frees the hostage, and then Akira interrogates the bandits, asking about their boss, whom they called Graham earlier. One soldier tells him that Graham is a royal in Uruk, the biggest nation of beastfolk. Akira tells the soldiers to take the bandits back to the capital because he can continue the journey on his own from this point. The soldiers tell him they have got orders to escort him to the port, but Akira manages to convince them to go back. Soon, they reach the port and board a ship. Akira tells his friends that as soon as they reach the beastfolk continent, he will get some good weapons and level up further. Amelia is surprised to hear that he still wants to grow stronger, and Akira replies that he won't leave any stones unturned to avenge Commander Saren. Knight tells him that the port town in the Beastfolk continent has a dungeon, and he can level up there. However, reaching there will take them at least a few days, and in the meantime, they should just relax and enjoy the trip. As the ship sets out on its journey, Amelia gets excited to recreate scenes from Titanic. She talks about how she wants to do the Titanic pose with him, but he is a Sigma male who doesn't pay any attention to her. Instead, he decides to read a book that the king gave him as a farewell gift. Amelia curses her father for giving Akira that is distracting him from her, but he doesn't care about her opinion. He keeps reading the books throughout their journey, and soon, they reach the Beastfolk continent. Their first stop is the port town of and Akira finds that only humans are doing the labor work here. He doesn't think too much about it and goes on his way, but then 3 small-time thugs corner him. They tell him to leave the elf girl and run away, and their attitude makes Akira realize that the beastmen discriminate against humans. He moves towards the beastmen, who underestimate him and rush ahead to give him a good whooping, but Akira uses his shadow magic to throw blobs of darkness at their eyes, stealing their vision. He then walks to the city where everyone seems scared of Knight. Amelia asks Knight if he knows anything about this, and he replies that people on this continent have a very good reason to be terrified of black cats. Soon after that, Akira and Amelia book a hotel room and enjoy a hearty meal. Akira decides to go to sleep, and Amelia tells him that their beds are a bit too big. She says that just one bed should be enough for both of them, and Akira is taken aback because he wasn't expecting her to be this direct. Knight decides to play the role of the wingman for Amelia, and he tells Akira that he is going out on a midnight stroll, so they should do whatever they want. Akira is left puzzled now, and Amelia happily hops into the shower for him. However, when she comes out of the shower, Akira has already fallen asleep, and she doesn't want to wake him up. She gently kisses him on the cheek and sleeps beside him. But turns out Akira was just pretending to be asleep because he didn't want to do anything with the dispo bitch. The next morning, Knight returns just in time as Akira wakes up. Amelia also wakes up in a few seconds, and then Knight tells both of them to get dressed because a guest is coming over soon. The guest is a goth beastfolk blacksmith named Crow, whom Knight called in to help Akira. Crow coldly replies that he couldn't refuse a summon from the nightmare of Alderia, and Amelia is curious about what it means. Akira, on the other hand, already has an idea what Crow is talking about, so he doesn't go into the details. He introduces himself, and the blacksmith immediately asks to see his weapon. Akira shows him the sword that is chipped at a lot of points, and Crow can immediately tell which dungeon he used it in based on the damage patterns. Akira is impressed and asks if he can repair it, and the goth beastman replies that he will do it for the right amount of money and raw materials. Akira accepts the conditions and then asks him to prepare 20 throwing weapons as well. Crow realizes that Akira is an assassin, but he feels that he is not mentally ready to handle his weapons without damaging them. Amelia gets mad on hearing this, but Akira tells her to chill because Crow is right. Knight agrees, saying that Crow might be a blacksmith now, but once upon a time, he was the member of the hero's party. Akira and Amelia are surprised by this, but Crow doesn't want to dwell on the past. He hands Akira the list of the raw materials needed along with the cost of repairs. He goes away with that, and Knight tells Akira that Crow might have an arrogant attitude, but he is the most skilled blacksmith on the entire continent. Akira believes him, but he wonders how can he gather the required amount of money quickly. Knight tells him to hit the dungeon and hunt some monsters for that, and he can also gain some raw materials in the process. In the meantime, Amelia has been acting impatient, and she suddenly tells Akira that she is going to talk to Crow about something. He tells Knight to go with Amelia while he gathers some information in the meantime. Amelia follows Crow to his workshop, and he coldly asks her what does she want. Amelia says that the previous hero's party failed to defeat the Demon Lord, and only the hero and the beast folk returned. Crow thinks she wants to ask about the elf who was a member of their party as well, but Amelia is not interested in that. Instead, she wants to learn how to fight from Crow, because obviously, he was strong enough to escape from the Demon Lord's castle. Crow immediately shoots down her request, telling her that he is no longer going to take any disciples. Amelia is surprised to hear this and asks if he had a disciple in the past, and Crow tells her that he had many but no one could endure his training and they either broke or ran away. Amelia promises that she won't run away or break down. She wants to stay with Akira, but he is far stronger than her, and that is why she wants to train hard and reach his level. Crow still refuses her request and then turns to Knight, saying that he only accepted the request to repair his master's weapons and nothing more. Knight agrees to that and tells him that Amelia is not his master, so he can deny her requests. However, he is not happy that Crow addresses him as the Nightmare of Adoria every time. Crow says that he deserves to be called only that, and Amelia can't contain her curiosity now. She asks Knight what are they talking about, and he tells her that 100 years ago, Adoria was the most prosperous city on the Beast Folk continent. The Demon Lord commanded him to attack it in retaliation for the Beast Folk invading his territory. His goal was only to cause some damage and scare those in the power, but his monstrous instincts overpowered him, and he went berserk, thoroughly destroying the city. That day, he earned the nickname Nightmare of Adoria, and black cats became a symbol of fear throughout the continent. Akira hears the entire story because of his telepathic link, and he feels bad for Knight now. On the other hand, Knight tells Amelia that because of that incident, he was so shaken mentally that he felt there was no point in living any longer. However, after meeting Akira, he has moved on from his shameful past, and now he wants to live for the sake of his new master. Crow scoffs on hearing that, but he tells Knight that he has no grudges against him. He continues the story that Knight was reciting and tells Amelia that soon after the incident, he went to a memorial to pay respect to the victims of Knight's attacks. Surprisingly, Knight was there too, and they both recognized each other. That time, Knight told Claw to strike him down if he wanted revenge, but the Beastman was not interested. He thought that Knight was nothing more than a tool for the Demon Lord, and it would be pointless to get revenge on him. However, he didn't want revenge on the Demon Lord, either because his real enemy was someone else. He told Knight that his sister lived in the city, but she did not die from his attack. She was among the survivors and was helping to rescue the injured people when the royal named Graham came there. He was in a hurry to leave the town because he feared Knight would return, and he was ready to blow through the fallen buildings to clear a path, not caring about the people stuck there. Crow's sister tried to stop him, but he kicked her away and then proceeded to blow up everything in his way, killing everyone in the area. Crow was enraged and wanted revenge against Graham, but he stopped himself because he thought his kind sister wouldn't want it. Amelia calls him a coward after hearing his story, because she feels he is using his sister as an excuse to run away from conflict. He gets mad at that, but she reveals that she used to be the same, but then Akira gave her the confidence to confront her problems head-on. Crow can't hear any more of her virtue signaling, and she tells her to get lost. On the other hand, Akira goes to the dungeon and finds that the entry is restricted according to adventurer rank, as he thinks of concealing his presence to sneak in. A monster outbreak takes place. Huge tendrils of energy break through the dungeon building and powerful monsters come out of the holes. The energy tendrils burn everyone in their way, and Amelia, who was just returning from Crow's place, uses her gravity magic to suppress them. She tells Knight to help the people, and he rushes to rescue as many people as he can. While Amelia is keeping the energy under control, a hooded boy comes there riding on a monster and says that her magic brings back some nice memories. Amelia recognizes him as the bastard who tricked Kilika into unleashing a group of orcs leading to the incident. The boy introduces himself as Aurum and tells Amelia that the Demon Lord has ordered him not to kill her because she has a unique magic. However, he is allowed to harm her just enough to keep her alive. He plays a weird flute and sends the energy tendril to surround her, and Amelia notices there are monsters waiting inside it. She is completely trapped now and realizes that there is no way to dodge Aurum's attack. On the other hand, Akira is busy fighting off monsters when Knight contacts him, telling him that Amelia has been kidnapped by a demon who took her into the dungeon. Akira immediately rushes to the dungeon, but there are too many monsters in the way, and the blue energy is blocking his way too. He picks up a sword from a dead guy's hand and begins hunting the monsters, but that method is not fast enough. Just then Knight comes there and apologizes because he wasn't able to protect Amelia, but Akira tells him it doesn't matter now. He tells him to get back because he is going to deal with everything at once. Knight immediately flies away, and then Akira unleashes his shadow magic to devour all the monsters and the blue energy at once. He feels overtaken by his rage and thinks that Amelia has become so important for him that he is feeling such intense emotions. He swears that he will save her at all costs, but as he finishes devouring everything with his shadow magic, he falls unconscious after using too much energy. Knight was watching all this from the sky, and as soon as Akira collapses, he rushes to his side. He wonders how to help him when suddenly, he hears the voice of the system serving Akira. The voice says that Akira has used more mana than his body can handle, so healing shadow magic will be activated automatically to treat him. The shadows quickly cover Akira, and then his body starts glowing as the shadow magic uses stored mana to fix his body. Knight can only watch this in awe and surprise, unable to understand what just happened. After a day has passed, Akira wakes up with a jolt and asks Knight where is he right now. Knight reveals that he brought him to Crow's house after he passed out and seeing the setting sun. Akira asks if he was unconscious for 5 hours. Knight tells him that he was out cold for 1 day and 5 hours, which is understandable because he used too much mana at once. He tells Akira that luckily, his shadow magic activated on its own and healed him because he would have died otherwise. He asks exactly what the shadow magic is, and Akira replies that he has no idea. He says it is not important right now because they have something bigger to worry about. He immediately goes downstairs where Crow is waiting for him. Akira thanks him for lending him the bed and asks to put it on the bill as well. Crow asks him where is he going, and Akira replies he needs to rescue Amelia as soon as possible. The goth blacksmith tells him that it has been over a day and Amelia might have already been taken to the demon continent. Akira declares that he will barge into the demon lord's castle then, but Crow asks him to calm down. Akira yells that he is calm but just in a hurry, and Crow asks how can he claim to be calm if he is forgetting his weapons behind. Akira snaps at him and says he doesn't have any weapons right now because they are undergoing repair, but Crow tells him to look at the table. He has snapped Akira's sword into 2 short daggers because they are better for an assassin. He also covered the raw materials and cost for repairing them because it is an emergency, but asks Akira to pay him back as soon as he can. Akira checks out the daggers and thanks Crow, who has another gift for him. He tosses a ring to him, claiming that either the second or the third hero forged it. The ring has some words inscribed on it that read, "I will lead you everywhere." Crow is surprised that Akira can read it, and he replies that it is the language of his world. He asks what the ring does, and Crow tells him that it helps its wearer find what they seek. As soon as Akira hears this, he wears the ring and activates its powers. The ring emits a laser pointer that points towards the dungeon, and Crow tells Akira that he is lucky that the demons haven't taken Amelia to the demon realm. Akira immediately equips his gear and rushes to the dungeon, riding on Knight's back, who asks him not to be reckless like the last day again. Akira agrees, saying that he shouldn't have risked his life so impatiently because that meant Knight could have died along with him. Knight tells him that he isn't worried about himself, and he just doesn't want Akira to be hurt. Meanwhile, Amelia is in the dungeon, tired and injured. The demon named Aurum talks to her cheerfully, saying that things are going really well right now. He reveals that demons have a spell to control monsters, but he was curious about how they affected humans and other species. He sends a flying centipede towards Amelia, saying that thanks to her, he found that his special spell can't control elves, but it can make them immobile. Amelia gathers her strength to ask him why is he keeping her in the dungeon. Aurum replies that only 2nd grade demons or higher can use teleportation magic, but unfortunately, he is just a 3rd grade demon who can't do that. That is why he is waiting for his boss to come here and take them to the demon continent using his teleportation spell. He doesn't know when his boss will come, but he is not in a hurry either because he is enjoying talking with Amelia. He tells her to ask anything she wants to know and he will answer honestly. He is confident that even if Akira shows up before his boss and Amelia tells him everything, he won't be able to beat him. However, he assures her that she won't be harmed in the process because he needs to take her to the demon lord in the best condition. At the same time, Akira is searching for Amelia, and the ring keeps pointing towards the dungeon. He decides to hurry when a hooded wizard comes there, asking him to grant her request. Akira remembers her as a stalker who was following them, and the moment the furry wizard asks him to take her along to rescue Amelia, he grabs her by the collar. He tells the girl to reveal how she knows about Amelia, and if he finds her dangerous, he will kill her on the spot. The girl tells him about her skill scent tracker, and how she used it to follow Amelia until she vanished into the dungeon. She also used the skill to find that Akira was heading towards the dungeon, and now she wants to help him. Knight can verify that the girl is not lying, so Akira drops her down and then asks her why she wants to come with him. The girl first introduces herself as Leah, the first princess of the beastfolk nation of Uruk. She got information that the demon lord was targeting Amelia, so she came here to inform her and Akira about it. However, she thought that Akira wouldn't believe a stranger without any proof, so she decided to just stalk him until the demons attacked yesterday. Akira still doesn't trust her fully, so he uses his world eye skill on her and finds that she is speaking the truth. He then asks her what her spirit barrier skill does, and Leah freaks out. She asks how he knows about her skills, but Akira tells her to just answer his question. She tells him that normal barriers can be applied to fixed spaces, but her spirit barrier can be applied to moving targets as well. Akira asks her if she can apply it on people too, and Leah affirms. She tells Akira that her ability will be really helpful to him. She then reveals that the demon lord is after Amelia's resurrection magic, and they can't let him have it. Akira is startled by this and immediately gets on Knight's back, telling Leah to hop on. Knight asks if he is sure that they can trust the girl, and Akira replies that they need her power to rescue Amelia, and they have no other choice right now. On the other hand, Amelia learns about the demon lord's plan as well, and she is quite surprised by it. She asks Aurum why would the demon lord want her resurrection magic when demons practically live forever, and they are super tough to kill. Aurum agrees with her because he doesn't see much point in the resurrection magic. He claims it can't be used if the target has been dead for a long period of time, and it has a long cooldown on top of that. Amelia asks how does he know so much about it, and Aurum tells her that he just knows it. He tells her that when Akira dies at his hands soon, she won't be able to save him with her resurrection spell because she just used it on herself. He excitedly talks about how much Amelia will cry when she sees Akira die, and hopes that it is more than Kilika's tears when Liam died because of her. On the other hand, Akira is still on his way to the dungeon. He feels that he has seen Leah before when he was freshly summoned and asks her to tell him what she was doing there. Leah starts her backstory from the start, telling him that she used to be an ordinary village girl, but one day, a black slime appeared there and swallowed her family and her village. She is sure that someone had modified that slime with forbidden magic and released it in her village, and now she is on the mission to find them. Akira realizes that the slime that swallowed Amelia must have been the same when Leah reveals that she was the only survivor of her village. The royal family adopted her because of her rare skills, and she became a princess. She used her authority to study about the incident, and found that it had links to the country that had summoned Akira and others. She says that a lot of humans and beastmen had gone missing in recent years, and they were used as a sacrifice for the summoning ritual. Leah is sure that her missing family was among the sacrifices as well, and that is why she wanted to take a close look at the hero that was summoned by offering their lives. Akira tells her that he is also one of the guys summoned from the other world, but Leah has no grudges against him. She only hates the king and the princess who were behind it, and Akira reveals that he has some deep grudges against them as well. He refuses to believe that the king summoned them to fight against the demon lord's invasion, and Knight tells him that he is right. He says that demons have not tried to invade any other country in the past century, and everyone just stereotypes them as an evil race that only wants violence. Just then, they reach the entrance of the dungeon, and once they reach inside, Knight tells Akira that they need to take down a certain number of monsters to clear each floor. This was the rule set in place by the first demon lord who created all the dungeons, and there is no way to bypass it. Akira says that doing it normally will take a lot of time, so he will use shadow magic to make it quick. Knight tells him that he will get exhausted before they even reach the demon at this rate, but Akira replies that they don't have another option. Knight says that he has another way to deal with the situation. He plans to take care of the smaller monsters while Akira saves his energy for the big fight. However, he is not sure if he can stay in control once he gets used to combat. He fears that he might hurt his master if he goes berserk, but Akira assures him that he will make sure that won't happen. He asks Knight to help him, and he immediately transforms into his three-headed form, wiping out the hordes of monsters with his fire breath while rushing through the dungeon corridors. He starts losing control and crashing against the walls. Akira tells him to control himself, and his voice reaches Knight, who feels like he is swimming in a vast ocean. He feels better after hearing Akira's voice and asks him to keep calling his name because that will help him stay in control. Akira thinks that is a bit sus, but he obliges and keeps talking to Knight so that he can stay in control of himself. As they rush down the dungeon, Akira asks Knight to tell him more about why other species hate the demons. Knight reveals that it is because of the first demon lord. He was a bit salty because other races pushed him to the barren continent and attacked their countries. That made him the symbol of ultimate evil, and people began believing that only the hero could stop someone as dangerous as him. Knight keeps wiping down the horde of monsters in front of him, while telling Akira that most demon lords haven't tried to attack humans, but a couple generations ago, some fool who wanted to make a name for himself killed the wife of the demon lord. The demon lord was a pretty chill guy who loved his family, but when he lost his wife, he became a menace. Akira pities the poor guy, but thinks that if he really ordered his men to kidnap Amelia, he will make him pay for it. Knight has no problem with that, but he tells Akira to keep it in mind that not all demons are the same. Some are downright cruel and want to crush all other races, but others want to achieve peace with all species living on the planet. Akira tells him that he will remember that, and soon after that, they reach the room where Amelia is being held. Akira immediately tells the demon that he will take Amelia back and commands Leah to cast a barrier on her. Meanwhile, Knight turns back to his base form and Aurum says that he is impressed by the demon lord's right hand, who brought the assassin here so quickly. Knight doesn't pay him any attention and apologizes to Akira because he won't be able to help him for some time now. Even Amelia apologizes to him for dragging him into this mess, and Akira tells them both to chill out. He tells Amelia that he won't let anyone have her and draws his daggers. Aurum also summons his weapons, telling Akira that he will lose this battle and his life. Knight reminds him that the demon lord has ordered them to bring Akira to him, but Aurum replies that his only orders were to bring Amelia back alive. He was told to kill Akira if he tries to stop him, and Knight can't believe that the demon lord would change his mind like this. While they are busy talking, Akira suddenly sneaks behind Aurum and attacks him. The demon easily blocks his blow and then counterattacks by extending his spear and slashing his leg. Akira keeps attacking him ruthlessly, but none of his attacks get past Aurum's defense, who is treating the fight as a joke. He manages to injure Akira over and over again, but then decides to end the fight quickly because it is less fun than he thought. Akira says that he will be the one to end the fight and activates his shadow magic. The shadows go to the places where his blood was shed, and Akira uses a special skill to summon shadow beasts using his blood. Everyone is taken aback on seeing this, and Aurum finds it hard to deal with the shadow beasts attacking him from all sides. While he is busy handling the shadow wolves, Akira rushes towards him and slashes his arm and leg, causing him to drop his weapon. However, Akira is also really exhausted now, and Aurum has more tricks up his sleeve. He plays his creepy flute, calling the monsters under his command to fight for him. Akira panics on seeing this because his shadow magic is still in cooldown and he doesn't know how to defend himself. The monsters charge their ultimate beam to destroy him in one go, but Leah uses all her power to create a big barrier around Akira before she collapses. The barrier first absorbs the attacks of the monsters, and just as they try to switch to melee, it reflects their attacks at them, blowing out their heads clean. Immediately after that, Amelia walks over to Akira, telling him that she can move now because Aurum has been weakened. She hides behind him, and Aurum says that he is disappointed in himself. Akira points his dagger at him, but hesitates in dealing the finishing blow. Aurum tells him to hurry, teasing him about being an assassin who can't even kill his defenseless target. While Akira wonders how can he kill someone who looks like a human, Aurum's boss teleports there. He is not happy to see that Aurum lost, but now Akira and his friends are terrified because they know they can't beat a second-grade demon. But that's where this video ends. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.